Hey folks, Sheila here from Design Files. I put together another video tutorial for you to show you some of the tips and the tricks that I like to use when building out design boards on Design Files. Now for the purposes of today's video, I'm going to be focusing on the 2D collage, and I'll be following up very shortly with another video tutorial on building out full 3D room designs. So let's go ahead and get started on creating this look. So I've already dragged out a few items that I want to use in this particular design, just in preparation for this video tutorial. But one of the key things that I do want to mention right off the get-go is that it's always a great idea to try to make sure that the products that you use are all shot on the same angle. So in this case, everything is shot face forward. The credenza, the coffee table, the sofa, the chair. And the reason I say that is because when you're building out your design, it's going to make it a lot easier for you to maximize on the amount of space that you can use on your design board while cutting down at the same time. You want to cut down on the white space that's in between each of these items. So just by having everything shot on the same angle, it makes it a lot easier to do that. Another key thing that I like to do is to try to find items on the board that have a similar shape and size, and to try to make them work as one unit. It just kind of creates a nice, clean, professional look to your design board, and it also, again, helps you really build out that gridded look. So in this case, we've got all the edges of the pillows lining up here, and they're actually lining up with the edge of the sofa. The top of this pillow is lining up with the edge of the rug. The bottom of the rug is lining up with the bottom of this pillow. So try to keep that in mind and keep your eye focused on always building out those clean grid lines when you're creating these 2D collages. So I've got this nice club chair here, but for this particular design I want to use 2 of them. And instead of dragging out the club chair again from my library and having to try to match the scale of the previous one, don't bother doing that. All you have to do is click on the chair, and then go up to the toolbar and hit duplicate, and it's going to give you that chair in the exact same size. So then you just have to slide it into place. It'll be a big time saver for you if you are using multiple items or multiple images of the same item on a design board. So we've got a pretty decent grid going here. Now I'm going to start building out the other half of the board. I'm just going to scale up this credenza so that we are able to align the top edge of it with the top of these chairs and the bottom edge of it with the bottom of the chairs. We'll do the same thing up here and just kind of align the coffee table with the top of this sofa. And I also want to make sure I'm always keeping my eye out for this gridded line here. So the edge of this coffee table is aligning with the edge of the credenza. And don't worry about making sure that everything is proportionate to all the other items on the board. When you're building out these 2D collages, the proportions of these items are not as important as having a nice, clean design. If you were working on the 3D boards, then yes, proportion definitely comes into play. But in this case, it's not quite as important. Now again, as I mentioned before with the pillows, if you've got items that have a similar shape, color, size, try to make them work as one unit. So in this case, I've got 3 items here that have a white color base to them, and they also have a bit of a cylinder shape to it. So I'm trying to stack these one on top of the other to work as one unit. And I think it actually works quite well. Alright, so let's bring in a few more items. I had a really nice art piece to work into this design. Here it is. But we can see that this art piece has a section of it that's missing. If you run into this, it's not a big problem. What you want to do is go up to the toolbar, hit Remove Background, and you're going to drag that toggle all the way to the left. When you save it, you've got a nice, clean design with the background added back into it, and you can use that on your design board. Okay, again, I'm just scaling items into place and making sure I'm always keeping my eye out for those clean grid lines. I'll throw in this floor lamp into the design, scale it into place, and you'll find that you might have some leftover space, a little small section on your board. I like to use that space for adding smaller accents. A lot of the times I'll use plants because it just gives your design board a nice little pop of color. You can fill those spaces with any items you please. But it's just something to keep in mind if you're finding that you've got tiny spaces on your design board that you do need to fill in. Okay, there you have it. That was a pretty quick and simple design to create. We've got a nice clean grid of product. If you want, you can also start adding text to your design board. So in this case, maybe we want to give the board a name that ties back to your clients. We'll scale that into place. And always remember that you can also color the text as well. So if you wanted to grab a color from your actual design board to tie it in nicer to the overall finished look, then you can do that. I'm going to try and match up the color of the chairs, and that's pretty decent right there. And last but not least, I'm going to add some colors. So we'll just drag some swatches out onto the canvas, scale them down and into place. Let's see here. These colors are definitely not the best colors to match for this design. Well, actually, it's not bad, but you can definitely take the time to pick the colors that are more appropriate for building out your color schemes for your design boards. But you can scale them down and slide everything into place. I'll just pull out this color. And there you have it. There's a pretty quick and easy way to lay out your design boards. And always, when it comes down to creating these specific design boards, some of the things that you want to keep in mind, again, are make sure your items are all shot on the same angle as much as possible so you can maximize on the amount of space used on the design board for product and cut down on the amount of space, on the amount of white space that's going to be in between each of these items. Try to group like-minded items together as one unit on your design board, and always keep an eye out for your nice clean grid lines. It's just going to give your boards a much more professional and pleasing look. So I hope that you found this video tutorial helpful. If you have any questions, always feel free to reach out to us, and thanks for watching.